From SunTrust Park in Atlanta, it's time for Braves baseball. Matt Adams and the Atlanta offense is on the tear, and they'll have to be as the first-place Milwaukee Brewers come to town to start a three-game weekend series. Hi again, friends. Welcome back to the ballpark. Chip and Joe with you. What a wild night for the Braves last night. A 12-11 victory over the Giants that saw Atlanta win 3 out of 4 games against the San Francisco club. But now a new challenge. The Brewers are here. They're in first place. And tonight it's Mike Foltynewicz's turn to exact a little revenge on the Brew Crew in Game 1.
Yeah, 12-11. I think the game ended about 12-26. So
right.
That was almost in keeping with last night's ball game. Mike Foltynewicz got on a real tear. He was working deep into ball games. He had a little bump in the road in Washington where he gave up some home runs, but it's going to be instrumental tonight that he work on these lefties. Left-handers are tearing him up as they did for Miami in his last time out. And these guys have a lot of power. Also going to have to keep the ball in the ballpark, and in this ballpark he's been mighty good lately.
Milwaukee scores a lot of runs, as you said. That is delightful for their starter, Jimmy Nelson, who's coming off arguably his best game in the major leagues.
Yeah, I think so. It was a complete game effort against San Diego. He was terrific, and he's capable of doing it virtually every time out there. He's a big, strong guy, 6'6", almost 250. So he's coming in with a lot of confidence. He pitched a good ball game, although he got beat against Atlanta. He gave up 6 hits, no runs, 2 walks in that last start. Actually, in that start against Atlanta in Milwaukee, gave up 11 hits, but made it a close ball game and making good pitches.
Braves won 2 out of 3 against the Brewers up at Miller Park. They hope to do the same or better as Atlanta continues to roll on what has been a very productive and entertaining homestand so far. We're moments away from first pitch. The Brewers and the Bravos get things started right after the break. We can. The forecast tonight, well, let's just say there's rain around the ballpark. It's very humid. It's very windy. One of the weather forecasts said rain might be approaching the ballpark in about 20-25 minutes or so. However, we're going to start on time. That's a relief. We've seen our share of rain delays this year. The Braves have had 8 rain delays, as a matter of fact. in the season's first 2.5 months. Mike Foltynewicz is on the mound for Atlanta. We showed the good work Mike has turned in his last handful of starts at SunTrust Park. But Joe, the lefty-righty split's worth mentioning again as he gets ready for the first pitch.
That's true. It's his 14th start. He's 4-5 with a 4.26 ERA. But lefties 3.48. Right-handers, decent number against them. So tonight he's going to have to deal with some pretty good left-handed hitters, some guys with some real pop in their bat. His keys tonight, shocker, left-handed hitters, 4 of them in the lineup. And the lefties recently have hit .640 against him in his last 2 starts, 16 for 25. That's a little scary. And put-away pitches. These guys have more home runs than anyone in baseball on 2 strikes, 32 of them. So when he's got a chance to put them away, put them away. Don't give them a chance.
Craig Counsell is the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. They come to town with a 40-35 record, a game and a half ahead of Joe Maddon and the Chicago Cubs. The man leading off for them is Eric Sogard. He's been an amazing story. He's come back from some serious knee problems to lead off, and he's getting on base almost half the time he has a bat in his hands. 83 degrees and a breezy night as Eric Sogard, riding a 10-game hit streak, smokes one towards second. Brandon Phillips off his back foot flips to first in time, and there's out number 1. Marcus Thames is the Eric Thames is the second place hitter for Milwaukee. Remember Marcus Thames from years ago?
Yep.
Synapses didn't fire, so my apologies. Domingo Santana hit a couple of home runs against Foltynewicz up in Milwaukee. Shaw, Pena, Franklin in the middle of the order. Broxton, Arcia, and Nelson 7th, 8th, and 9th. So Eric Thames the batter with 20 homers, and he takes a strike. Oh, 2.
He'll need that tonight. That good curveball and his changeup.
Swing and a miss on 3 pitches. Thames is retired. He's punched out for the 76th time this season. Just like that, 2 are out.
Off-speed pitch right there. Good breaking ball.
Well, and as you said, you can't think of 2 more differently built offenses. The Brewers dead last in the National League with the most strikeouts by their batsmen. The Braves have the fewest strikeouts. See how it works out as the pitch upstairs to Domingo Santana.
Mike's made 3 starts against these guys and has pitched well against them every time. He has a career 1.80 ERA.
Two of Santana's home runs this year came against Mike up at Miller Park. The second one a real heartbreak. It came after an error at short, and it turned the game around in Milwaukee's favor, and they won 4-3.
Yeah, an error with 2 outs, it would have ended the inning.
Right there, a strike. 3-1 your count. Travis Shaw's on deck. 2 outs. Turn back the clock to late April in Milwaukee.
You can see on the scoreboard the Braves were up 1-0 when the first one was hit. That was the crusher. That was a 3-run shot after the error. 3 unearned runs.
So the 3-2 pitch is just a little low. That was close, and Santana's aboard with a 2-out walk.
Good pitch. Mike's last start against Miami, no decision, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. But again in that one, left-handers were 7 for 14. Right-handers were 0 for 9 in that game.
Well, here's a tough left-hander. Shaw with 51 RBIs. That's 20 away from his career high set last year with the Red Sox. And he has 50 RBIs and 256 fewer at bats than he had with Boston last year. So he's been quite an acquisition for the Brewers. I recall his series was cut short when Jaime Garcia hit him on the hand with a pitched ball, and he had to come out of game 2 and didn't play for a few days after the Braves finished up the series.
Good breaking ball so far tonight. Bounced that one in front of the plate and still got him to swing. Again, these guys strike out a lot. Here's one of those counts. Put away pitches. Finish him off tonight.
He did. A beautiful off-speed pitch. And Shaw's down swinging, and Foltynewicz is out of a scoreless first. 2 strikeouts for Mike. He's off to a good start. Let's see what the Braves bats do with Jimmy Nelson going to work for Milwaukee in the bottom of the opening inning. Trust Park. No score after a half inning. Jimmy Nelson goes to work for the Brew Crew. He's 5-3 on the year, and he's on a very impressive roll for Craig Counsell's club.
Yeah, including that complete game effort his last time out. He's 3-0, 2.02 ERA in his last 5 starts. And really since the beginning of May, he has been on fire. A 2.25 ERA in the last month and a half. Good numbers on the road, but lost that start on April 29th against the Braves. Lifetime 0-2 against Atlanta. Throws hard. 93 to 95, as Nick Green told you on Braves Live. Slider, curveball, change.
But he's running into a buzzsaw. The Braves Toyota starting lineup is on an incredible roll in June. The Braves have scored 120 runs this month, more than any other club in baseball. And they're averaging almost 6 runs per game for Brian Snitker. No Matt Kemp in the Toyota starting 9 with that hamstring problem suffered last night. Bouncing ball to Eddie Perez, foul at first, and the Braves offensive night is underway with a swinging strike.
Talked to Matt Kemp before the ball game tonight. He feels okay. It's just one of those nagging things. He didn't say it's driving me crazy, but you could tell it's just driving him crazy to not be in the lineup.
A bunt try is off the screen, foul. 2 strikes. Well, a night game tonight, a late afternoon game tomorrow, and then a 1:35 start on Sunday. And the Braves will leave after the game Sunday and fly to the West Coast, where they'll enjoy an off day in San Diego. We'll see how that factors into Matt's playing time this weekend with Milwaukee in town. No balls, 2 strikes. And Inciarte's down swinging. That hasn't happened in a while. And Nelson has his first strikeout tonight.
Braves going for their 4th straight series win. Got that one right by him. Running a little, but not that much that he couldn't connect.
Good to see Brandon back in the lineup. He tweaked his groin swinging the bat late in the game last night. He vowed to be back in the lineup for game 1. Here he is with a .301 batting average. And he unloads deep toward left. At the track, at the wall, that ball carries out.
Boy, oh boy, did he get into that first pitch. Belt high, inside corner. I'm not sure. I don't know if we've got a wide shot of Jimmy Nelson there. It's his first inning of pitching in this ballpark, but it almost looked like he was already walking in without turning around to the umpire, like, give me another ball. Oh, he did turn around. Okay.
So Phillips is homered in back-to-back games for the Braves, who lead 1-0 with Nick Markakis coming up. That's the 88th home run hit at SunTrust Park. Pace for 190.
It's only the 4th homer Nelson's given up to a right-handed hitter.
So Mike Foltynewicz has a run to play with, thanks to Brandon Phillips' long home run. Nick Markakis, 29 hits from 2000 now. Is 6 for his last 13, including 4 hits last night. And he just took a 4-pitch walk. That is a recipe for big problems in this park.
If you make a good pitch as a visiting team, what you think is a good pitch, and it gets hit out of this ballpark, all of a sudden you're wondering, well, where can I go? Where can I go for an out? And you start getting careful and you start walking guys and make the problem worse.
Matt Adams is coming up. Another homer last night. 12 of them in 31 games as a Brave. And he takes a strike. Matt knocked in 2 of the Braves' 12 runs in game 4 against the Giants. And looks for his first career hit against Nelson tonight.
Jimmy Nelson last year lost 16 games. He was 8-16. And you wonder what got him turned around. When you can look at command, you know, he's cut down on his walks a lot. That probably has helped immensely.
1-1 pitch around the plate, ball 2. 5-3 is Nelson this year. Lifetime 26 wins, 41 losses. Wind blowing briskly out toward left as Adams digs in. Stroked into right center field. That's a base hit. Broxton tries to cut it off. He did, but not before Nick Markakis winds up at third base. Matt Adams with a rifle shot into the gap. And Atlanta's in business, first and third with 1 out.
You know what I love about this? Two-seamer, tried to run it away from him. Great extension. But I love the fact that Matt Adams is hitting 297, maybe 300 now. He's not all or nothing. He's getting his hits above and beyond the homers, too. That was really stroked.
So the Braves have ambushed Nelson for a first inning run, looking for more with Tyler Flowers up there. Tyler's .325 average, good for 13th in the National League. And that's in for a strike. Right off the end of the bat, and Flowers behind, 0-2.
Nelson was born in Oregon, grew up in Florida, Niceville, Florida. Went to Alabama and was a second-round pick by the Brew Crew in 2010.
Wasted a fastball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Long inning for Nelson. And a shot hit towards second. Sogard with a beautiful flip. Arcia drops the ball and a run is in. The Braves get a gift run on what looked to be an easy double play chance. 2-0.
Nice pick by Sogard. That ball was smoked. Gave him a good feed. That didn't get it out of the glove cleanly. And these guys are really good up the middle, but goes to what we talked about with their team having made so many errors, the most in the National League. That's number 57, I believe.
And I think the Braves are going to challenge this call at second base to see if Arcia actually controlled the ball in his glove. You might recall the Braves had a very similar play when Dansby Swanson waffled a ball at shortstop, and that led to a couple of runs the other night. So the Braves are going to challenge the out call at second base. It's already 2-0. That is indisputable. Did he control and lose it on the transfer?
Well, one of the things you could look at here is that, okay, he caught the ball. Let's say he caught the ball. Back it up a little bit more. He caught the ball, but he's not touching the base. Okay, so now when he does touch the base, does he have control of the baseball? And the answer is no.
So the call is overturned. An excellent challenge. So Adams is safe at second. Braves lead by 2 as the Milwaukee defense cost Craig Counsell a run and out and another base runner.
And Tyler should get an RBI on that. Can't assume a double play.
He did. That's his 23rd of the year.
Big break. Take advantage of the defensive miscue against a tough pitcher.
That was an easy review for New York. Took him just 25 seconds to deliver the verdict. And now Danny Santana playing left field for Matt Kemp tonight. Takes a look at his first pitch out of the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Popped up, and that's headed out of play. And a fan from Brown Deer, Wisconsin makes the play. That's the hometown of Bruce Fleming, former Major League umpire.
They've got a nice golf course out in Brown Deer.
2 runs on 2 hits. Milwaukee's committed a first inning error. Pickoff play. And that one sniffed out easily by Adams. Lifted toward left. And Franklin is there to make the play. Santana flies out. 2 away in the inning for Dansby Swanson.
A few more pitches for Nelson too. Make him work a little harder.
Dansby Swanson is riding a very impressive 6-game hitting streak. And batting .329 in the month of June. Atlanta's 12-9 this month. And down and in, ball 1.
Dansby's now getting around to some pitchers that he has seen before. That always helps to go to the video room, be able to see how, in this case, Nelson worked him. Swanson was 0 for 2 against him in Milwaukee.
Grounded toward short. Arcia flips to Sogard, and that's the inning. But a productive first for Atlanta. Brandon Phillips launched his 7th, making his 6th home run, and his 2nd in as many games for the Braves. 2-0 behind Mike Foltynewicz. We go to the 2nd.
Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Delta Airlines.
Well, if you ever wondered what Replay Central looked like in New York City, there you go. And the Braves challenged a call in the first inning. It was overturned. And that was part of Atlanta's 2-0 first inning run against Jimmy Nelson. So far, so good weather-wise. As Mike Foltynewicz gets set for his 2nd inning, Manny Pena will go to work first for the Brewers. Mike struck out 2 of the first 4 batters he faced in his first inning tonight. And ball 1 to the Brewers catcher. Milwaukee got Pena from the Tigers in a deal for K-Rod. Terrific relief pitcher, who today was released by the Tigers, by the way.
Yeah, he complained. Said he was not an 8th inning guy. But they moved him to the 8th inning because he was blowing saves left and right.
Final straw came last night. He gave up a grand slam in Seattle. He's not happy with his role. Well, maybe he'll find a new one someplace else. The Tigers cut ties with K-Rod. And Milwaukee happy to have Manny Pena and his .293 average behind the dish. A strike.
Good thing for K-Rod is that there are a lot of clubs begging for relief help.
He was able to finish him off. Tipped and caught by Flowers. 3 strikeouts for Foltynewicz. Again, that's one of Joe's keys. If you get to 2 strikes, don't fiddle around with these guys. They've got a lot of power. So far, it's not been on display. One away.
Mike talking to himself because he got away with one there. He got a swing and a miss on a fastball in the dirt. That game up in Milwaukee on April 30th, Mike struck out the side in the first, struck out 2 in the second. The leadoff man in the third. He had struck out 6 of the first 7 guys he faced, and was cruising along until Santana hit that leadoff homer in the 5th.
Nick Franklin playing left field. A couple of homers for him. 1 ball, no strikes. Different looking Brewers club without Ryan Braun. Braun's on the disabled list. And in fact is beginning a rehab stint tonight for the Brewers. Ryan Braun's had a continuing calf problem this season. They're also without Jonathan Villar, who hurt his back and is also at Class A Wisconsin tonight.
Villar's going to have a tough time finding some playing time when he comes back with the way Sogard's playing.
Two balls, 1 strike. Sense a little frustration from Foltynewicz early on. He went full count. Keon Broxton is the Brewers hitter waiting on deck. And popped out of play left side. Wind is really starting to pick up now, blowing from right to left. Line into center field, a base hit for Franklin.
Snaps an 0 for 15 for him.
So he's aboard with a sharp single right back where it came from.
You can tolerate that. Was behind 3-1, came back to force a couple of extra swings, but he kept it in the ballpark.
And that brings up Keon Broxton. He leads the major leagues in strikeouts with 99 of them already. He's their center fielder. I recall Keon Broxton started his major league career 0 for 24 at the plate, and I think he had some crazy number like 19 or 20 strikeouts in those first 24 at bats before picking up his first base hit in the major leagues against the Braves last May. Joey Gallo of Texas has 98 strikeouts. Miguel Sano and Chris Davis of Minnesota and Oakland have 97 strikeouts. Those are your major league strikeout leaders. Pitch. Didn't get it. And you can see the havoc the wind is making with our center field camera. Flag starch blowing from right to left. And that's why.
Birthday boy Wayne Berry hanging in there.
The 1-2 pitch. Flowers couldn't hang on. Tough break. We'll do it again.
Strike count, finish him off.
Most strikeouts by a Brewer in a single season happened last year. Chris Carter struck out 206 times. Broxton's got a great chance to break that mark. Franklin, decent lead at first, not going. The pitch is grounded slowly toward short. Dansby will flip to Phillips for one. No chance to get Broxton, who's got good speed. That's the second out of the inning. And here's Arcia, the Brewers shortstop, just 22 years old. Entered last season as the Milwaukee #1 prospect in their organization. "55 games last year. He hit 4 homers and drove in 17. He's already flown by those numbers.
Keep an eye on Broxton. Any team managed by Craig Counsell is going to run a lot, and they do. They're second in the league in stolen bases.
Broxton has 11 in 16 tries.
They have 61 as a team. The Braves have 31 by comparison.
Clouding up at the old ballpark as Arcia digs in. No balls and a strike. Broxton's going. The pitch is fouled back toward us.
Nice professional courtesy there from Brandon Phillips to let Broxton know the ball had been fouled off and not to slide.
Wow, look at the flagpoles in right center bobbing in the breeze. The pitch. Snap throw back to first and in safely is Keon Broxton again. The 1-2 pitch is looped into shallow center. It's going to drop for a base hit. Ender's going to make the throw to third off target. Nobody covering first, and Arcia is able to scramble back safely. And now Milwaukee's got men at the corners with 2 outs. So Mike got him to 2 strikes, couldn't finish him off.
Broxton runs too well to be able to prevent that on a bloop, especially with 2 out where you can go on the crack of the bat. Nelson has 3 hits on the year and 2 RBIs.
So Milwaukee gets the pitcher up here in the second with 2 outs. 2-0 Atlanta leads. And he was just a little bit late.
A little tardy. Well, it's a good thing we're not playing over there.
Right you are, Joe Simpson. Pitch. Strike called. Arcia takes second. That's a stolen base. Now a hit could tie the game. 0-2. And that takes care of that. Foltynewicz has 2 strikeouts in each of the first 2 innings. He protects a 2-0 lead with bad weather approaching. We go to the bottom of the second.
You buy your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
Braves 2, Brewers nothing. Johan Camargo, Mike Foltynewicz, and Ender Inciarte are coming up against Jimmy Nelson. Johan Camargo's getting a lot of playing time because he's making the most of that playing time, as you see on the Georgia Lottery jackpot feature.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch the whole Braves offense do their thing, and Johan has been a big part of that. He's 0 for his last 9, but 10 for 25 on the homestand. Good stuff, both sides of the plate.
So Nelson a little late getting back to the mound. He was the last hitter up for Milwaukee, and that tells you what we're hoping to avoid.
Expect the mothership to drop out of there at any minute.
Camargo at 304 for the year. Drives one over the screen, foul, a strike. To second. Sogard with the peg to first. There's the first out of the second inning. Mike Foltynewicz is the hitter, looking for his first safety of the year.
He is, and he's been swinging hard in case he hits it. There's going to come a point where they intersect.
You know, Tim McCarver used to always say of a catcher who is an okay runner, you're damning him with faint praise. Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're talking about with Mike, is from a hitter's perspective?
Yeah, I'm looking for the good.
11 strikeouts in those 20 at bats for Foltynewicz. 1 ball, no strikes. Mike trying to even his record at 5 wins and 5 losses. Pitched great ball his last 3, as we showed you here at SunTrust Park. The 1-2 pitch is cut on and missed. And Nelson has his second strikeout of the night. 2 away.
Telling you, one of these days.
First man to strike out was Ender Inciarte. Didn't get it. Strike one.
Nelson can rush it up there again. That was 94. He can go a little higher than that, and it comes out of his hand very easily.
Quickly 0-2. And Ender is down on strikes. That was an impressive inning for Jimmy Nelson. He has struck out 3. Top of the Brewers order coming up.
Your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
2-0 after 2. Good guys leading the Brewers in game 1 of our weekend set. Nice crowd gathering on a Friday night. Hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate the rest of the way. We'll have fireworks afterwards. Then 2 more here this weekend. Eric Sogard will lead off for Milwaukee. He bounced out to Brandon Phillips his first time up. Sogard, a non-roster player. Had some knee problems with the Oakland A's that required surgery. Didn't make their club out of spring training as he continued to gain strength in that knee. But boy, he's come on like a house of fire.
I think he missed all of last year, didn't he?
Let's see. Sogard last year, yeah, played just 2 games at Stockton on a rehab. Lifetime .239 hitter. He's at .366 and getting on base at a .466 clip out of the leadoff spot.
How about that? .366 average and a .466 on base. Dynamite.
A little low, ball 3. Eric went to Arizona State. Was originally a second-round pick of the Padres back in 2007. Foltynewicz with a walk. You know, I love Mike, but he is flailing his arms in exasperation and frustration every time a ball sails off target here in the first couple innings.
You can be upset with yourself, you know, and at times disgusted with yourself, but you needn't let everybody in the ballpark know about it.
Second walk. And Eric Thames is up. He of the 20 home run season so far. And a strike. Thames just 2 out of 12 against Braves pitching so far this year. And close play at first. Played the last 3 seasons with the NC Dinos of the Korean Baseball Organization. 124 homers, 379 RBIs in 388 games. Eric's no kid. He's 30 now. Got to the big leagues for the first time in 2011 with Toronto. He had 21 major league homers combined before this season in Milwaukee. And a pretty pitch has him behind in the count.
Thames talking to himself on that one. Pitch up and away. We were told when we went to Milwaukee, anything between the knees and the belt he wears out, that you can go up the ladder on him.
They tried.
Yep.
Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That radar gun said 101.
I might believe that one.
Yep.
Not sure if I'm going to buy it if Sean Newcomb's in triple digits. Now the 2-2. Runner starts, then stops, and Thames is frozen on the inside corner. Folty struck him out twice, and he's got 5 in the game.
Aired that one out too. 97. 2-seamer. Tried to get it to come back, and it did just enough for Chris Conroy, plate umpire tonight.
Domingo Santana walked in the first inning. That came with 2 outs. And he's going to walk to first base after getting hit by a pitch.
Might have gotten him on the hand. Nope. Elbow.
So he'll try to stay in the game, and Santana will slowly walk to first. 2 on, 1 out.
95 heater on the elbow. Can't feel very good. 4th batter that Foltynewicz has hit.
So Travis Shaw, another crack at Foltynewicz. Gotta admire Travis Shaw. He and his family are going through something that you wish on no one. No family, anytime, anywhere. Shaw welcomed his baby girl Ryan into the world earlier this month. Born with a congenital heart defect that was diagnosed while she was still in the womb. And the doctors told Travis and his family that she was going to need some pretty serious surgery after she was born. She's undergone not 1 but 2 open heart surgeries. And so Shaw, as he said, finding solace and comfort in the routine of baseball to take his mind off of everything his little daughter's going through. But for him, this is an especially difficult time because this is the first extended road trip that he's taken away from his family since her operations.
Got to be extremely difficult.
One ball, 1 strike. Mike keeps looking at his right hand as well after he misfires up and away. 2-0 Atlanta lead. Brewers threatening here in the third. A walk and a hit batsman. Pitch. Fly ball center. That'll stay in the park. Ender's going to catch it for the second out.
Wasn't it his last start against Washington that they went out and checked Mike's finger to make sure it was all right?
I think
there
you're
was
right.
a blister coming up.
So here's Pena again. Yeah, that last start against the Marlins on the 18th. Mike threw 90 pitches in 6 innings. Gave up a couple of runs, a painful sequence back to back. A walk after he got ahead of Ozuna 0-2, and then Bohr with a base hit on an 0-2 count to give Miami a lead. So that's to your point. Finish guys off when you've got them way behind in the count. Strike. 0-1. Attack mode. Let's see if he can end it here.
Yeah. Good fastball. 97. Struck him out on that breaking ball first time around.
No balls, 2 strikes. Did he go? It was tipped, and I believe it was caught. Yeah, there's a break. Pena tried to check his swing and couldn't. He tipped the baseball into Tyler Flowers' glove, and that is the inning. The Brewers are wondering if it hit the dirt or not. Clearly it didn't. The umpire behind the plate heard a tick. I don't know if it hit his bat or not.
It did not.
But Mike Foltynewicz will happily take the break. He's got 6 strikeouts, and the Brewers are done in the top of the third. Of the third inning, Atlanta leads 2-0. Jimmy Nelson's on the hill for the Brewers. Gave up 2 first-inning runs, the first of which was a home run from Brandon Phillips.
You know, when he first hit that, I thought it was a no-brainer, and then all of a sudden it seemed to kind of hold up out there. Glad it carried out.
So Brandon with 3 career homers against Nelson. Swings the first again. A ground ball to second. Sogard's got it. And that's the first out of the inning.
When you watch Nelson, it reminds you a little bit of what Steven Strasburg has done to his windup. Looks like he's going to start out of the stretch and just takes a step back and delivers.
Well, that windup not working for Strasburg tonight. He's facing the Reds and losing at Nationals Park. That's a 5-1 score. Still a ways to go in D.C. It's in the 4th inning. Reds are pitching a kid, Luis Castillo, who's making the jump from Double-A Pensacola to the big leagues.
I've heard about him. I've heard about him in some matchups with the Mississippi club for the Braves and how good he is.
And we know the Reds need pitching. They've been decimated by injuries all year long. Homer Bailey's getting close to coming back for them. That'll help. And again, the Reds are playing in the right division. The division they share with Milwaukee. The Reds 9 under 500, but only 8 games out of first place. Over but low. 3 balls, no strikes. Scored his 38th run of the year for the Braves in the first inning, second most on the team, and took one there for a full count.
Good pitch by Nelson, 2-seamer that backed up.
Swing and a miss. That's a devastating pitch, boy. When it's biting like that, Nick couldn't lay off. And a nice comeback for Nelson for his 4th strikeout.
That's a quintessential back foot slider, boy, and it was sweeping down toward that back foot. Hard to do anything but swing right over the top of it.
Two quick outs. Matt Adams, a first inning single. Tonight is Matt's 32nd game as a Brave. 38 hits and 125 at bats. And he scored 24 runs. He's hit 12 homers in a Brave uniform. Big shift on for him. And he's pushed off the plate.
Good news on the Freddie Freeman front. He was cleared to start swinging the bat, albeit just swinging, not hitting baseballs yet, even off the tee. But good strides being made.
Took more ground balls at third base before batting practice today. And he keeps vowing that his intention is to come back for the Washington series before the All-Star break. That would be a remarkable recovery. 3-1. And Adams takes ball 4, a 2-out walk, brings up Tyler Flowers. It's amazing how the Braves haven't skipped a beat without Freddie Freeman, and that's almost impossible to contemplate. Look at what the Atlanta first basemen have done this year. Our SunTrust confidence play of the game.
Pretty amazing, really amazing. I keep talking about Freddie Freeman's 14 home runs that he hit in a month and a half, and that's About a month's worth for Matt Adams and his 12 homers.
Braves are 18 and 17 since Freddie went to the DL. Flowers tries to poke one down the right field line. That's headed for the second row of seats.
Well, I didn't think they were going to call the season off. But
Right.
with all due respect to his teammates, I would never have guessed that they would have a winning record at this stage without him.
I remember clearly that game against Toronto the day after he got hurt, when Atlanta just got blown out, looked listless.
Yes.
But you said it doesn't have to be one guy, just everybody has to do a little bit more. And I think that this team has done that. Anders taking his game to another level with all of the hits. Brandon Phillips hitting over 300. Markakis hitting third, getting 2 hits a night. You know about Adams, but the Braves bench, Danny Santana getting some spot starts. Camargo's come up and play well. Rio Ruiz has chipped in.
The bottom of the order has done real well in his absence. Dansby Swanson has really gotten his game going again.
0-2. Tyler didn't chase. So as hot as the Braves offense has been this month, it's very exciting to think about what could happen if Freddie Freeman comes back and joins this group and is in the lineup with Adams and Kemp and everybody else. 1-2. Did he go? He did not. Popped up. Thames over near the Braves dugout. That is off the top of the dugout roof. And into the stands. We'll do it again. He caught it on a hop, but he caught it nonetheless. Probably from Hopkinsville, Georgia. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-0 Braves. 2 in the first. A Phillips homer, a Flowers ground ball, and an error by Arcia that scored Nick Markakis. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And Nelson has his 5th strikeout. Atlanta 2, Milwaukee 0. We're off to the 4th.
Fourth inning, you heard Joe talking about how Freddie Freeman is coming along. Well, he did get that CT scan today, which gave a lot more information. So last week, his bone was at about 50% healing. This week, it's at 80 to 90%. He says he's shocked at how fast it's healing. And originally, he thought that that bone was broken in 7 different spots. Well, they found out it was actually broken in 12 to 14 different spots, but everything has bridged over and healed besides that impact point. And to put into perspective how well his rehab process is coming along, where he's at right now, being able to take dry strings, was expected to be 10 weeks after the injury, and he is only 5 weeks in. So it's moving along quickly, moving along pretty well for him. And how those dry swings went today and the next few days go will determine how quickly he'll be able to begin his rehab assignment in the minor leagues.
Well, he gave me a thumbs up after those swings today, Kelsey, so it must have felt good. And I asked him, I said, does it hurt when you press on the spot where the break was? And he said, no, that doesn't hurt at all. He said the only thing that kind of hurts is actually along the bottom of his arm, like where all those tendons kind of got shortened up from the cast where he wasn't able to use it. So now he's trying to stretch his arm out enough and the wrist out enough to try to get those back where they're supposed to be.
Nick Franklin leads off and quickly down 2 strikes as we hit the 4th inning. Well, we all want to see Freddie Freeman come back. We want to see him back as fast as possible. We want to see him come back and continue what was a pace for an MVP caliber year for the Braves. One-two count. Swing and a miss. He blew it right on by. That's 7 strikeouts. But I'm sure the excitement about having Freddie Freeman come back has to be tempered by the realism of that's a serious injury that he suffered.
Especially if there's a break in 12 different places.
Right.
But I know that he was taking some meds that were supposed to accelerate the healing process, and apparently those worked real well.
Interesting.
Don't ask me what they were.
Keon Broxton, the batter, pops one out of play. Again, Broxton sitting on 99 strikeouts, more than any other major league hitter. I've always found that chocolate chip cookies and kale smoothies fix just about anything wrong with you.
Well, they definitely will do a number on you. 723 strikeouts for the Padres. Notice the for the Brewers. You notice the Padres right in there behind them. They just got through playing the Padres. What a strikeout fest that must have been.
Ooh. Well, these guys had a game for the ages earlier this year with the Dodgers. That one's out of play. Game started by Clayton Kershaw, went 12 innings. The 2 teams combined for 42 strikeouts in a 12-inning game, and the Brewers struck out 26 times
in 12 innings
out of 36 outs. Amazing. High fly ball center field. That's very well hit. Ender has gone as far as he can, and Broxton on a 1-2 count homers to straightaway center. And Milwaukee's on the board. It's a 2-1 game.
Keon's never played here before, but he knew that was gone. Squared it up. Four-seamer on a 1-2 count.
So Arcia's up. He's singled and stolen a bag and pops that one out of play for a strike. So our cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
And there it is.
Yep.
2-strike home runs. 40. I undersold him earlier.
That's why that put away pitch stat is so important for Foltynewicz here tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Arcia now. He's hit 5 homers. Not that time. He struck out with a foul tip. Folty's got 8 strikeouts in the game.
Sure been a good pitch for him tonight. Took a little off of it, had him out on his front foot. Got him to chase.
So Nelson got a run back thanks to Keon Broxton's homer. It's 2-1. He hits with the bases empty. Ball 1. Even count. Brewers have now hit a home run in 11 consecutive games. That streak started June 13th.
You know, it's a great weapon, the home run. It's instant offense, instant runs, and they get more than their share. But boy, it sure is tough when you got to rely on it. Might be worth looking at the Harvey's Wallbanger team that played in the World Series in '82. See how many home runs they hit, and if they struck out a lot.
Well, to your point about relying on it and not getting it, Brewers have played 18 games this year where they have not hit a home run. They're 7-11 in those games.
That's not bad.
But they're 5 over overall. And Nelson pokes one to the right side on a 3-2 count. And if Mike Foltynewicz was a steam kettle, you'd see it coming out of both ears right now.
Just trying to throw a strike 3-2 and make sure he didn't walk the pitcher, but getting to 3-2 was the mistake. And then allowing him to just stick his bat out there and extend his arms was a favor to him. 4th hit of the year for Nelson.
That extends the inning. Sogard is their leadoff hitter. He's walked and grounded out.
Kelby Tomlinson just left town with the Giants. Called him Clark Kent. I think we've got another Clark Kent nominee here.
You know who Sogard looks like at first glance with the helmet on? Looks like Nick Green.
Does he?
Oh, look. Quick look. Nick, I'm sure, has much better ties than Sogard. That's the real distinguishing characteristic, but you can see a little resemblance.
Way better hair.
So, Mike, another 2-strike count. Mike's using a lot of energy in this game. He's got a lot of strikeouts, but he does not have a 1-2-3 frame yet. Outs, 8 via strikeout. And this one's hit hard toward right center field. Markakis on the run is going to get there at the track. That saved a run. Markakis with a fine running catch ends the Milwaukee 4th. They get a Broxton homer to make it a 1-run game. on a cloudy night all of a sudden at SunTrust Park. Time for our Toyota Tweet of the Week. This week's question is, what are your thoughts on Freddie Freeman moving to third base? Tweet us at Fox Sports Braves using the hashtag Freeman Hot Corner, and your tweet could be used in the Braves Live post-game show. There's some of Freddie's pregame work today. As we told you last night, he will accompany the Braves on the upcoming road trip to San Diego and Oakland, and he will continue his workouts out there. As Joe mentioned, he's already taking some dry swings in the cage just to get grip strength, I'm sure, and get some looseness in those wrists again. And we'll see when he's able to return to the Atlanta lineup.
I know you can see it in his eyes. He's so excited about the progress he's made in such a short time.
So Jimmy Nelson back in the game, 2-1. Danny Santana leads off the fourth for the Braves. Tries to bunt, pops it up, and over the screen foul. Cardinals lead the Pirates tonight 2-1. That game's in St. Louis. Jameson Taillon and Adam Wainwright are the pitchers tonight. Pittsburgh trying to snap a 7-game losing streak at Busch Stadium.
There was that back foot slider again, and a beauty.
And then a fastball at 93 miles an hour. Santana's retired on 3 pitches. So Nelson and Foltynewicz are putting on a strikeout clinic. That's 14 of them in the first 4 innings. Dansby hit to a forced play back in the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. And you showed the graphic about Nelson, his last 5 games undefeated with a 2.0 ERA. Well, he's given up 2 tonight. And trails only by a run.
Doesn't look like a guy who lost 16 games last year, does it?
No, he does not. Well, last year he led the league in losses, walks, and hit batsmen. And the Brewers went 12-20 in games in which he started. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the rain has begun to fall. The pitch is shot to center field. Broxton is on the run, stumbles, and can't make the play. Swanson with a blue pit with 1 out.
Just fought it off, and that's something that's still good to see from Dansby. Means he's got an eye on the outer half of the plate. Great effort by Broxton. Kept his hands inside the baseball. He did that last night and ripped one to left field, you might remember. And that big 5th inning the Braves had.
Braves scored 8 times in that inning. As Camargo is the Braves hitter. Most in any inning for the Braves, by the way, last night since 2011. The Braves turned the trick against the Dodgers.
Boy, wasn't that fun, too?
Man. Foul back. Strike 1. The Braves are at a decided advantage in this game right now. I don't think there's a single Brewer who has played in a rain delay now that they have the dome at Miller
Right.
Park. So
yep. They're having to really compete in the raw elements tonight.
I mean, this is frozen tundra of Lambeau Field type stuff for them.
Fresh air.
Right. Strike 2.
Talking to players, coaches, managers, everybody was exhausted last night. and pretty tired today here at the ballpark.
Camargo down on strikes. 7 strikeouts for Nelson. 2 away. Well, the long games certainly have an effect. The rain delays certainly have an effect. And the emotional toll of a 12-11 game that was 12-6 at one point, I'm sure had an effect on everybody's mental clock.
Very stressful. Batting average against Nelson's gone down each month. That's a good sign for him too. Great progress. That way, Mike. You never know. Mike, swing hard.
No balls and a strike. Hey, made contact, and Shaw at third. Scoops and flips, and that ends the Atlanta 4th. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Brewers. 1-run game in Atlanta. Here in the 5th inning. This is a very important frame for him with the bad weather. Don't know how long that's going to last. He has the lead. If he can get 3 outs without giving up a run here, Mother Nature can do whatever she wants to do. Mike, however, has the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for the Brewers, and Ed Mangan and the grounds crew poised at the end of the Brewers dugout to jump out and pull the tarp at a moment's notice. So we need a no drama 5th.
And a good grip on the baseball.
He struck out Eric Thames twice, once looking, once swinging. And just like that, he's fallen behind 3-0.
That was a 92-mile-an-hour aimed fastball instead of cutting it loose.
And 4 pitches puts the tying run aboard. And now he's got a tangle with Santana, who walked in the 1st and was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning.
Talked about the left-handed issues he's had with a batting average of .348 against him and how important that would be tonight. Sogard does not have a hit, but he's walked once. Thames just walked. Franklin reached down a hit. Shaw's 0 for 2.
And these two guys that are up for Milwaukee are guys you can get double plays turned. Santana's hitting to 6 of them. Shaw's hitting to 10 double plays, and he's on deck. 0-2. Rolled foul. We'll do it again. In fact, Milwaukee's hit into 50 double plays this year. Their pitchers have induced 77 double plays. Nothing in 2.
All their hits, all 4 of them, have come with 2 strikes. This guy's really strong. Pretty much an upright batting stance, but when we saw him in Milwaukee, ball was just flying off his bat.
This young man was originally a Philadelphia Phillies prospect. Went to Houston for Hunter Pence. Did he go? He did not.
Oh.
2-2. And then Milwaukee got him from Houston for Carlos Gomez, Mike Fiers, and an international signing bonus slot.
Yeah, I think he stopped it. 6'5", 230.
2-2. Foul at the plate. He was born in Santo Domingo, but grew up in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, so he's fluent in English.
Raining harder. Really need a double play ball.
Or a strikeout. That helps. Now Shaw's their team leader with 10 double plays. Mike could get one of those and head to the home 5th with the lead. That's his 9th strikeout in 4 1/3 innings.
Slider and a beauty.
Shaw has struck out and flied out. That's laced foul. Strike 1. Oh, 2.
Oh, 2 count. Don't get in a hurry to try and get that ground ball, but keep the ball down to see if he can top one onto a breaking ball. Good idea.
Fans are looking for shelter anywhere they can find it in Atlanta. It's raining very hard. Runner at first, 1 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes for Shaw. Braves up a run. Popped up. Adams and Phillips. That ball is curling back toward Brandon Phillips, who makes a basket catch at the belt.
Mike got away with a breaking ball that caused Shaw to get under it. Excellent play by Brandon.
So there's the second out, and here's Pena.
You strike out a lot of people, you're going to run up a pitch count. 99 pitches already for Mike.
He has struck out the Brewers catcher twice, last time on a phantom foul tip. But Mike will take that as he just missed low. 1 ball, no strikes. Called a strike, 2-1.
That was a great call by Tyler Flowers. Struggling to get that fastball over there, trying too hard to get that fastball over. And the one pitch he's throwing for a strike this inning anyway has been his slider. Put it right there. I need another one. Mike's gotten loose with his mechanics here in an effort to try to get through this inning. Overthrowing that fastball.
Dangerous pitch, 3 balls and a strike. Fly ball center. Ender will battle the raindrops. He's got room. He's got it. He went to a knee to make the catch, and that retires the side. It's an official game. Mike Foltynewicz preserves a 2-1 lead. A couple of great catches under real tough conditions. One by Brandon Phillips, that one by Ender Inciarte. And the top of the order is coming up next. For the 5th inning, he has thrown 9 strikeouts at the Brewers. It's an official game with Atlanta in front by the slimmest of margins, 2-1. Here's your score.
Against this ball club, he can rack up some strikeouts, has in the past and has tonight. 9 of them. He's had an excellent breaking ball. And he's pitched around 3 walks and a hit batter. They've left 7 men on base.
So 5 3-ball counts, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. That's pushed his pitch count up over 100.
A lot of stressful pitches too. We'll see if he goes back out.
Top of the order for the Braves, Ender Inciarte, who has struck out twice. Nelson's pitched impressively tonight. He's retired 7 Braves via the strikeout. And a little pop behind third, foul ground, and no play for Shaw. 0-2.
And it is pouring.
In between innings, Ed Mankin went out and talked with Jerry Meals.
And no surprise that the first guy out on the field was Jimmy Nelson. He wanted to get this inning going, get his bats back up there.
No balls, 2 strikes. And the infield looks to be in pretty good shape. Not seeing any shiny spots where the water would accumulate. And I guess job number 1 is the mound.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of looking at the top of the dugouts. That's where that water can accumulate. You see the splashing, so you know how hard it's raining.
Line drive into left field. That's going to get down for Inciarte. The Braves have a 2-strike hit. Ender Inciarte is having a remarkable year for the Braves.
He didn't bury that slider. Left it out over the plate a little bit. Ender serves it to left. He's so good at.
This is 73rd game of the year. We're not halfway through the season yet. Already Ender now with 96 hits and 47 runs. He's on pace for a 200-hit, 100-run year. Wouldn't that be something? He's at first for Brandon Phillips, who takes one up and in.
It wouldn't surprise me at all to see him score 100 runs. Get Freddie back in the lineup. Have Phillips, Freddie, Kemp, Markakis, Adams hit behind him.
I mean, the possibilities are endless, for sure. One ball, no strikes.
The hitters hate all that water dripping off their helmets.
Two-0 the count.
Kicking the mud out of his spikes between every pitch.
Wow, look at that right toe.
And this drives you crazy when you're Jimmy Nelson or Craig Counsell and the Brewers trying to get through the inning to get your bats back up there when this rain continues to fall and there's foul balls. And I was really shocked to see him throw over to first a minute ago.
Yeah, all that takes more time.
Sure.
So lets more rain fall. Makes the track even slipperier. 2-1 pitch. And another throw. It would be fascinating for me to know how much water this field could take and how much water gets pumped out with the prescription athletic turf and all the technologies that exist to keep fields as pristine as they are. Another roller foul. And I remember when we got our tour of SunTrust Park last September, Ed Mangan was talking about all the different layers of materials that had to be placed on what was basically raw dirt on the field to put the piping in, the drainage in, the irrigation in.
Such a science, too, to know when to stop. I mean, know that when you get to the top layer, that's ground level equivalent to where you want the stands to be.
2-2 pitch, hammered toward the gap in right center field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Wet track for Ender. He's around second, on his way to third. They're going to wave him. Here comes a relay throw that will not be made. Brandon Phillips with a big double to extend the Atlanta lead. That was a hard-earned RBI hit.
A double to go with his home run tonight. Fastball away, and it's hit that way. Split the gap. Boy, what a good swing. And the right man running in front of him, able to keep his footing and not slip and fall.
Yeah, the base runners don't have the luxury of that scuff pad that's behind the mound for the pitchers to clear their spikes. But no trouble for Ender, who scores another run. Atlanta leads 3-1 for Nick Markakis. Nobody out. That'll get a runner to third. Sogard with the flip to first. Phillips 90 feet away from Matt Adams. Productive out for Markakis. A single and a walk for Adams tonight.
It's like Craig Counsell's going to put a shift on, but also play the infield in. Not the most pleasant of things for an infielder that close to Matt Adams.
And as wet as the infield is, ball might hydroplane too.
Pitch similar to the one Matt hit out yesterday. Generally a good low ball hitter. He tomahawked one yesterday. That's grip related. Pena throws that ball out. Wild pitch, a distinct possibility here.
One ball, two strikes. Brandon Phillips 90 feet away with the Braves up 2 runs. And that just did stay alive.
Got up to that one, but barely. Probably a ball, but hard to lay off when you see it so clearly. Will he throw him a breaking ball? Or just try to keep taking him up the ladder?
Inciarte singled on an 0-2 pitch. Brandon Phillips got to 2 strikes, fouled off several, doubled to the gap in right center, took third on a ground out.
Here's that slider.
And it was a beauty. What a weapon. 2 outs, 8 strikeouts for Nelson.
It's a big out for him. It'll take a base hit or another Brewers miscue, an error to get that runner in.
This man struck out 10 in his last start, a complete game against the Padres. He had a stretch of 2 starts, May 28th and June the 2nd, where he had double-digit strikeout games with no walks in either one of them, something that had never been done before by a Brewers pitcher. So he's pitching well, but trails by 2 runs. He's never beaten Atlanta. Jimmy Nelson 0-2 against the Braves in 3 career starts. Strike 1 for Tyler Flowers. Tyler has an RBI and a ground ball in the first inning. He struck out back in the Braves' 3rd. And to the seats right side, where many of the fans have taken cover under the 3rd deck of SunTrust Park. Fans in the upper deck and 1 level below, well protected by that 90-foot canopied roof. One ball, 2 strikes. And Flowers with a big hit. Another knock with 2 strikes in the inning. In fact, all 3 of them with 2 strikes. Flowers with a 2 RBI night, and that extends the lead.
Well, and 2 outs. We keep talking about this team and the team effort, the team offense, up and down the lineup. Matt Adams strikes out with a runner at 3rd and less than 2 outs. But his teammate picks him up here with a nice piece of hitting. Tyler Flowers goes the other way to get that run in. Nicely done.
So the Braves have 2 in the 1st, 2 here in the 5th. And Danny Santana, the batter. That just missed the outside corner, even count.
It's like the rain is easing up a little bit.
Long inning for Nelson. He's about to make his 25th pitch here in the 5th. And
one that he wanted to be real quick.
Yep. The Braves have scored twice. That skips away from Pena. The throw to second is high. And Tyler Flowers takes advantage of a ball in the dirt. That'll be a wild pitch.
First wild pitch of the year for Jimmy Nelson.
Wow. In what, 90 innings now?
Yeah. And all grip related, I'm sure.
Braves had a big 5th inning last night. Not too shabby in the 5th tonight, considering the weather. Another hit might bring home Tyler Flowers. The 2-2 to Santana is around the plate again. Full count. Pickoff play, and what a save by Arcia to keep that from sailing into center field.
Daylight play, waiting for him to get on the second base side of the runner, and a snow cone catch.
And Danny takes a walk. That is the second walk for Nelson, and he'll get a visit on this rainy night. Derek Johnson is the Brewers pitching coach. We'll have all the particulars of our game and the rest of the action around the major leagues on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. And Dansby Swanson will hit with 2 in, 2 on, and now 2 outs.
Everybody's got their phones on doing the chop.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Uh-huh.
I have to call that the chop and glow. 4-1 Atlanta. Here's the pitch, and Pena, nice stop. Brewers bullpen has begun to work. Nelson's pushing toward 90 pitches. He too's had his share of stressful frames. 1st and 5th in particular. Got 1-1-2-3 inning. That was the second. Little roller hit toward Shaw at third. He will side saddle and shoot it across to first in time, and that retires the side. The Braves worked over Nelson for 2 more runs in the 5th and lead now 4-1.
South continued to do their Community Heroes Week, and they have done such a great job with this event going on today. Anna Patton was the recipient. She is involved with Buddy Baseball, which, when I tell you, this is one of the coolest organizations I have ever seen and been a part of for at least a day. It is so unique. Now, today, you thought you were coming to the ballpark because you were having a meeting with the Braves to collaborate with them about jerseys, but what happened after that?
You know what? I don't get tricked easily, but I was 100% fooled. I thought we were talking about jerseys and, you know, how to make our program more accessible. And we walk up to the field to look at how we can change the dugout or the field for some of our kids, and drums start beating and all these good-looking girls start walking towards me. And I'm thinking, what is going on? And then I see a lot of friends in the background. I see my mom, my dad. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. I turned around to our coach, Walt, who did all of this, and I said, I'm going to kill you. What did you do? Yeah, I was completely surprised.
Well, it's very much deserved. So with Buddy Baseball, they recruit about 20 or more special needs kids every single year, and they pair them with other kids who teach them how to play baseball, really. And they have games every Saturday of the spring, and today the Atlanta Braves players came in, and they showed some of the players how to do it. But can you just explain a little bit more about Buddy Baseball and your involvement in it?
Sure. The program started 20-something years ago by a mom who had twins. One had cerebral palsy and one was a typical child. And she wanted her child with special needs to play baseball just like his brother. So she started the program for her son, Kyle Pease, who's an Atlanta boy. And ever since then, we had a couple that ran the program for years, Rachel and David Barron. And then I took over, and we kind of grew the program from there. And essentially, we just look for our kids. They range in age from 5 to 30. And any sort of need, whether it be a mobility issue, an intellectual deficit, autism, brain injury, whatever it might be, you're welcome to our field. We will pair you with a typical baseball player, and we will make you the best player you can be, but we'll also try to pair you with someone who will be a lifelong friend.
You guys have touched so many lives, not just from the special needs kids, but to the kids that you're pairing them with. I know the Braves players walked out today, and they all just grew from today and being around the players. Now, Chip and Joe, I also want to introduce you to Johnny. This is Anna's son. This is the all-star for their team. He was pitched to from Dansby Swanson today. Do you like playing baseball, Johnny?
You like baseball, Johnny?
He loves it so much he can't even talk, but he was great. He's one of their best players, and he can swing that bat, Chip and Joe. But such a cool, involved day today. The players loved it. The coaches loved it. Brian Snicker was out there, but we loved it, and we appreciate everything that you've done, and it is an incredible program that you guys have put together.
Partnering with the Braves, it's been huge. The uniforms we got this year, the kids just loved them. It really just injected our whole program with a lot more enthusiasm. The fans came out and supported us, and to have the players out there today was just literally mind-blowing. You know, it just meant so much, not just to the special needs players, but also to our buddies that show up every day. So.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you do. We had a blast. So Chip and Joe, we'll get it back up to you guys as Johnny flexes the muscle.
Nice. All right, Johnny, way to go. And way to go, Kelsey. That was a great story, and what a great way to wrap up one of my favorite weeks of the year, Community Heroes Week. Talking with Beth Marshall before the ball game tonight. There are really so many remarkably wonderful people that do things behind the scenes to make our city a great place to live, and it's a real thrill to get to meet some of them over this very special week.
It is a great week. Tip of the cap to the Braves, the Braves Foundation, and to Fox Sports South for all of their tireless efforts putting all this together and keeping it a secret each day.
So as we suspected, Mike Foltynewicz out after 102, 103 pitches, 104. Jason Mott is on to pitch the 6th inning. He's got the 6, 7, 8 hitters up for Milwaukee. The Braves have a 3-run lead.
Ed Mangan and the crew did a little housekeeping around the mound, home plate, and the bases, putting some drying agent down. Hopefully that will help. Still raining.
Yeah, the forecast I saw, rain's going to continue for about an hour, hour and a half. It's not going to stop anytime soon. But it's an official game. Braves have the 3-run lead. Franklin, Broxton, and Arcia, the Brewers hitters.
Jason Mott works in his 3rd game in the last 4 days. His last 2 against the Giants, a total of 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, a run, no walks, 2 strikeouts.
Little roller hit toward Adams at first. Race to the bag. Mott got there first and made the play for out number 1. That looks like such an innocent play, but man, oh man, as slippery as that bag's got to be, that is a treacherous play for the pitchers trying to cover and beat the base runner.
Nice toss too by Matt to get it to him as quickly as he could.
So here is Keon Broxton. He hit a long home run in the 4th inning to straightaway center. His 12th of the year. Has there ever been a Jonathan Broxton versus Keon Broxton matchup?
I bet there has.
Have to have Chan check that out. 1 ball, no strikes. Nationals have tied the Reds 5-5 in the 7th. Marlins lead the Cubs 2-0 in the 8th. Miami got beat 11-1 last night.
Mets were just happy to get out of LA. Swept in a 4-game series, gave up a ton of home runs. I forget the number, but the Dodgers set a record for a 4-game series, a team record.
Popped up on a play. Saw something online tonight. Apparently the Mets have said they're open for business. They're going to start trying to trade some of their veteran players in the last years of their contract. Nothing's gone right for New York.
They've got good pieces that they could do that with. They just can't keep pitchers healthy.
Another pop and out of play by Broxton. Mott's got him set up for that ever elusive 100th strikeout.
I was trying to find some place on his uniform to dry his hand off.
Two balls, 2 strikes. There's number 100. Broxton's retired, 2 outs.
Good spot on that slider. Threw it at the outer 3rd and had it break off the outside corner. Good pitch.
And Chan did find the answer for us. There has been a matchup or 2 of the Broxtons. Keon is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk against Jonathan Broxton. So he's the first in the big leagues to 100 strikeouts, I believe. And 2 outs for Arcia, the young shortstop. Just 22 years of age. It's a bad match. He's wearing a Phillies hat. Ground ball to short. Dansby, tricky hop, recovers, throws to first in time, And that takes care of Arcia and the Brewers in the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down for him. Atlanta leads 4-1. Everything great about the 90s. Get your tickets at Braves.com/90s night. It'll be a 4:10 start. The game will air on FS1. R.A. Dickey and Matt Garza will be the starting pitchers in the middle game of the series. Joe and I will join you on Sunday afternoon for the homestand wrap-up for Julio Teheran and Zach Davies. Eddie Perez and Terry Pendleton are ready for 90s Day tomorrow. And we are ready for the bottom of the 6th inning with a couple of changes for the Milwaukee Ball Club. Lewis Brinson's checked in. He's going to play left field and be inserted in the 9th spot on the Brewers lineup card. And Brent Suter, a left-hander, is on to pitch. There's Brinson, #1 prospect for the Milwaukee club, taken in the 1st round out of Coral Springs, Florida High School.
Came over from Texas, didn't he?
He did. He was part of the deal that sent Jonathan Lucroy to the Rangers. Last year at AAA with Milwaukee, hit .382 at Colorado Springs. In his previous 81 games in the Rangers system, rookie ball and AA ball, hitting the 230s, but he had a shoulder problem. They really like him a lot. But he's another powerfully built young man who strikes out a little too much. So we'll see what Brinson has to offer when we get to inning number 7.
I don't know what Suter just asked for. I don't know if it was like a tongue depressor to get the dirt out of his spikes. He shouldn't need that. He's got the scratch pad back there. Oh, he was complaining about something on the mound. Now says it's okay.
Suter was called up on Wednesday, went 3-1 at Colorado Springs. This is his 6th relief appearance for the Brewers, and he's been up and down now 5 separate times between the big league club and AAA.
A lot of cutters, slider, and a changeup. Cutter in the mid to upper 80s.
Braves are trying to win their 3rd in 4 tries against the Brewers. Looking good tonight, 4-1 as the rain continues to fall. It'll be Camargo, then we'll see, and then Ender Inciarte. Suter's a smart cookie. Went to Moeller High School in Cincinnati. and graduated from Harvard with a degree in environmental science and public policy. His dad played football at Penn State and was a safety on the Nittany Lions 1982 national championship team. His mom was a 4-year letter winner in swimming at Penn State.
Good genes.
A nice story, taken in the 31st round of the draft. This guy last year did something that the Braves can relate to. Remember how long Atlanta had gone without a left-handed starter? Until Jaime Garcia made one for the Braves in regular season play. It had been 2 Septembers ago when Manny Banuelos started for Atlanta. Well, Suter snapped a 474 game stretch of games started exclusively by right-handed pitchers. It was his major league debut. And he debuts at SunTrust Park tonight with a strikeout. And with a short bench and a lead, Julio Teheran's going to come on and bat here in the 6th inning. Really haven't seen this happen too often for Atlanta, but with a deep bullpen and a short bench, there are situations in the middle innings when the relief pitcher or starting pitcher comes up, you might have to use a pitcher to pinch hit. And Julio puts it in play. A little roll around to Sogard at second. Quickly 2 out.
It's actually his 3rd pinch hit appearance. Remember, he put down a bunt the other night in a similar role. He's also pinch run. Suter's got a crazy delivery in that it's real fast wind up like he's in a big hurry. Throws across his body, steps to the first baseline. And he's throwing strikes. You can see how that motion can really throw the hitter's timing off.
I'm really mad, though, he doesn't throw a split finger. With a name like Suter, don't you have to have one of those?
Yeah, I guess he'll just have to settle for cutter.
Another hit, another run for Inciarte tonight. And taken low. Good news for Gwinnett tonight. They beat Norfolk 4-3. Aaron Blair picked up the win. He's 5-4 on the year. It's taken low. And Ender takes a walk with 2 outs.
That's one of those at-bats, and Pena's going out to talk to the young guy. That, you know, you get 2 quick outs. You get a strikeout. You get a quick 1 pitch out from Teheran. You get ahead of Ender 0-2 right away. And then ball 1, ball 2, foul ball, ball 3. Your defense gets on their heels. And then you wind up walking him because you weren't aggressive enough to get after him and get the inning over with.
Two outs for Brandon Phillips, who's knocked in 2 of the Braves' 4 runs. 1 with a homer, 1 with a double. And he takes a strike. Want to wish Danville good luck tonight. They had their season opener postponed because of rain last night. They start tonight in the Appalachian League. And the Gulf Coast League Braves start on June the 26th.
Yeah, Rocket Wheeler back in the managerial spot for the Florida Fire Frogs. Want to wish him well.
Yeah, they won 8-1 yesterday. Dan Winkler, remember Dan?
Sure.
Scoreless inning of relief, his third rehab appearance. Remember, Winkler fractured his elbow throwing a pitch here for the Braves. Hope he can come back to the big leagues and be effective. 0-1 for Phillips. And back to the screen, 0-2.
I don't remember a game where it's been raining where the umpire requested that the batter's boxes be re-chalked. But that's what happened before this half inning started. I'm assuming the home plate umpire, Chris Conroy, asked for that.
Well, the rain is all but stopped now. As the Braves continue to hit in the sixth. 4-1 game. The 0-2. And here he goes again. 2 quick strikes and then
nibbling.
Yep. When we get to the 7th, the Brewers will have the 9-1 and 2 spots coming up. Brinson, Sogard, and Thames. Braves happy with their lead, but 3 against this club, not a very big advantage. Did Phillips go? He didn't. Left side of the infield, thought he swung. And look at Shaw. He can't believe it.
Brandon was asking for help before the Brewers asked for help to prove he didn't swing. Shades of Andrew Jones.
So Ender will be off to the races with a full count pitch.
Caught a break.
And it's grounded toward Shaw at third. He'll have to make the long toss across. And it's on target, and that retires the side. 6 in the books in Atlanta. Braves lead game 1 4-1.
Score of 4-1, time for an Xfinity game break. Now the Brewers are trying to hold off the Cubs in the National League Central. Well, Milwaukee is just wondering what is going on with the Cubs, because right now the Cubs have won big in Miami last night, 11-1. They could have saved some of those runs. Giancarlo Stanton takes John Lackey deep for his 19th of the year, and that's all Jose Urena would need tonight. Him and 3 relievers combined to shut out Chicago by a score of 2-0. That's the good news for the Brewers. The good news for the Braves, Chip and Joe, is that we're beating them tonight.
Indeed, the Braves are. And Sam Freeman grabs a baseball. He'll go to work in the 7th inning with the 9-1 and 2 hitters coming up for the Brewers. Mike Foltynewicz went 5 innings of 1 run, 4 hit, 9 strikeout ball. Jason Mott worked a perfect 6th with a strikeout. We'll see if Freeman can have an easy time of it and get us to the 7th inning stretch.
3 of his last 4 outings have been scoreless, including 2 days ago against the Giants, an inning in the 3rd, 1 hit, 1 strikeout.
So here's our first look at Lewis Brinson. When Jonathan Villar went to the DL, they called this kid up from AAA. He's hitting $120 in the major leagues. He started 6 times, and this is his 12th appearance. Major league debut came June 11th in Arizona. He played left field, went 0 for 2. Two balls and a strike. Tyler got cleaned up in between innings.
Boy, he sure did. Well, it's a new ballpark, and amazing, down there behind the dugout is a dry cleaner. You just kind of walk through.
Well, we saw the dry cleaning machine with the Braves uniforms on them down on the concourse, right? They have the similar one downstairs.
I don't know which one's on the concourse.
Remember the one with the uniforms? That one.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a very similar one. Right underneath the dugout.
Yeah, you just walk through, hold your arms up in this case.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. So Freeman, a good start to the 7th. I know they have the stuff called 1 hour Martinizing.
I've heard of that.
Here at the ballpark, it's 1 inning Martinizing. I don't know what Martinizing is or what it does.
And you can get it scented.
Really?
Tyler chose the rosin scent.
If you're a pitcher in that out, you don't want the pine tar scent if you're out on the mound.
No.
That would be a very bad thing.
Right.
Here's Sogard, 0 for 2 with a walk against Mike Foltynewicz. And he's going to head to first. He just got nailed with a fastball. So that hurts. It's a 4-1 game. And some thunder coming up. Ooh.
Yeah, that hurt. A 4-1 game. Eric, don't be dumb. Thinking he was throwing at you.
Here's Thames. He struck out twice and walked once. This powerful Milwaukee team, a run on 4 hits so far tonight. Ground ball right side. Phillips will have one play. And the runner moves to second on a ground out by the Brewers first baseman. But that's out number 2 in the inning. And here's Domingo Santana. He's a real good hitter on Sunday, but Friday night hasn't been kind to him. He's walked, he's been hit by a pitch, and he's struck out. Pop fly foul and right side out of play.
Brewers' only run came on a home run. They are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position.
They had runners second and third in the second with a pitcher up. Nelson struck out. And runners first and second, one out in the third. Couldn't do anything with Foltynewicz there. Sogard's going to steal third, standing up. Santana took the pitch. Now he's down 1-2.
Nobody holding him, nobody watching him.
One ball, 2 strikes.
A good changeup got Brinson. See if he tries that here. 2-2. Like they're going fastball in. And got it in there.
Sogard at third. The 2-2 pitch to Domingo Santana is rifled up the middle, a base hit. So Santana makes it a 4-2 game. Big wide turnaround first. He'll scamper back. And that ball was really stung. And you know, Sogard has some satisfaction after being hit by that pitch. Steals a base and comes home on a bullet up the middle.
Fastball down where he could drop the barrel on it. 1 for 2 tonight. Makes him 4 for 8. And 3 homers against Atlanta. And now an RBI single.
So Shaw represents the tying run for the Brewers. It's a 4-2 game now. Shaw's 0 for 3 and looked at a strike.
but 51 RBIs.
Yeah, his career high 71 last year. Hit 16 homers for the Red Sox. He should fly by those numbers in Milwaukee this year. They traded Tyler Thornburg to get Travis Shaw. And a strike. Red Sox also were busy today. They signed Doug Fister and Johnny Peralta. Both of those players were released. Boston looking for some pitching and position player depth,
especially at third base.
Pablo Sandoval has not worked out at all. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and that retires the side. A couple of strikeouts for Freeman. Milwaukee adds a run. They're down 2, however, at the stretch, with Nick Markakis set to lead off the Atlanta 7th.
Joe had mentioned an update on Matt Kemp earlier. Now, Brian Snitker did tell us he is day-to-day, but he would be available to pinch hit. He has, since the beginning of the game, changed into cleats, which I think reassures us that he is available to come off of the bench, and they're hopeful that he can get back in there tomorrow. But hamstrings are such a tricky thing that every time it's triggered off with Matt, they want to make sure they nip it and get it taken care of ASAP.
And the best way to make sure that that doesn't get irritated is to make sure you don't have to use Matt Kemp.
The other thing is, both times that he's really irritated it, well, the first time was making a catch.
Right, diving in Pittsburgh.
And making a great catch here the other night on the run in the gap. The other one, the other irritation came going first to third on a weird pickoff throw, remember?
Correct, yeah, he dove into the bag, ball got away, and he went to third and said, can't keep going on. So Markakis leads off. He's down 2 quick strikes. Nick walked and scored in the first inning. He's struck out and grounded out since. Really kind of liking the cell phone lit tomahawk chop here at SunTrust Park. Fans have employed in force tonight.
It's funny, they do it a lot during the day games, but it doesn't look real good on it.
Out of play left side. Phillies are in Arizona tonight, leading 1-0. Boy, it's been a miserable year for the Phillies. Phillies have lost 13 of their last 15 games. They head to Arizona, where the Diamondbacks have won 26 of their first 35 games at home. They've won 11 of 12, by the way. And the Braves have not yet seen Arizona. They have not yet seen Colorado. They have not yet seen Los Angeles. Swing and a miss. Markakis is retired, and Suter is pitching well. That's his second strikeout, and Adams the hitter. Single walk, strikeout, the line for Matt, who's hit a home run in 4 of his last 6 games with the Braves. His first inning single noteworthy. It was his first career hit against Jimmy Nelson, who started for the Brewers, went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs and 6 hits. Struck out 7 and walked 2. Pop fly foul, no balls, 2 strikes.
Look how deep Arcia is out there in right field. He won't have to be any more.
He won't have to do any running after the game either, because he's got to go about 75 yards to his shortstop position after Adams just struck out. Two up, 2 down. Tyler Flowers, a 2 RBI night. He and Phillips have knocked in the Braves runs here in game 1. A game that Braves hope will even up their home record at 19-19 and get the Braves to within 3 games of 500. Braves are playing great ball in June. They're 12-9 this month, scoring almost 6 runs a game.
Averaging over 7 their last 10 games. Pretty impressive. So is Suter. Done a nice job here after issuing the 2-out walk last inning.
What a pitch on a 3-1 count.
Yeah, he slowed it all down. Thought Tyler might be able to pick up on that, but it was a real good off-speed pitch.
He got jammed, but fought it off and dumps it into center field. A 2-out hit for Tyler.
Tried it again, but that one wasn't quite as good as the one before. And you're right, fought it off.
Danny Santana, the hitter, with 2 outs. And that's upstairs, ball 1. Braves trying to slow down Milwaukee. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. They're a game and a half behind the Cubs at the moment. Really, the seeds of this good season so far for Milwaukee began in April. They finished the opening month 13 wins, 13 losses. That doesn't sound like much. The last 2 years combined, Milwaukee won a combined 13 games in April. That one got under Thames. Flowers is going to try to go to third. The throw's off target and everybody's safe. That was a little like Bill Buckner in the World Series right there.
And the fact that Tyler was only about halfway to third base when Sogard picked this up, and his throw, probably a wet baseball, was way off the mark. Hard for Tyler to hold the bag too. That's what happens when you back up and let the ball play you. Second error of the night for the team with the most errors in the National League.
58 now. Thames with 4. Dansby Swanson had a good cut, came up empty.
I think Oakland's the only team in Major League Baseball with more, and they've got like 65 or something.
They've got a crazy number.
Yeah.
I'll look it up real quick.
We'll see them on the next trip.
68 errors in 73 games for the A's. Entering tonight's play. Those 68 errors turned into 47 unearned runs for the A's pitching staff.
Wow.
No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first goes, and a shot to right field by Dansby will bring home a run. It's 5-2. No play at first, no play at third, and Dansby drives home his 32nd man.
Speaking of unearned runs, Cutter coming in on him, fought it off. With the runner being held, a lot of room over there for Dansby to slice that one in there.
So that lets Braves country breathe a little easier. Johan Camargo with 2 outs, runners at the corners. Strike 1. We've talked about it a lot on this homestand. The uncanny ability of this Braves offense to score runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings is so much fun to watch. This is a game they already lead, but facing a powerful team like Milwaukee, those add-on runs mean so much, not only for the other team's bullpen, but for yours too. Camargo pops one up. Thames in foul ground, takes a peek and makes the 2-handed catch to retire the side. Braves pick up an unearned run thanks to a Thames error and a Dansby Swanson RBI hit. 5-2 Atlanta after 7. Time to join Jerome Jurinovich.
Thank you, Chit. The big story continues to be the remarkable recovery of one Freddie Freeman, originally projected to return to the lineup a week or 2 weeks after the All-Star break. He insists he is on track to return to that final series in Washington before the break. Had a CAT scan today for the latest on the results. Let's hear from the man himself.
It all went well today. Last week they said it was 50%. This week Dr. Laurie says between 80 and 90. It's completely bridged around the bone, but there is a little spot on the impact because that's where it shattered. So he's completely okay with that. I have a little ligament soreness from the injury and from being casted for 4 weeks. So we're working through that, but I have been cleared to start taking dry swings today. Last week they told me it was like 50%, and I didn't think it was going to get to 80% in a week, and obviously it did. He said 80, 90, and they're all pretty shocked it got to that point too, especially with me stressing it the last few days of catching balls and all that stuff. So it's actually great news. Well, everybody's been saying that they really didn't think I was going to be back till 8-10 weeks. Obviously I had a different mindset going into it, but we're just at 2 days over 5 weeks right now, so I'm pretty ecstatic of how the recovery has gone.
Well, he's not the only one excited about an earlier return. Of course, the big story, 3 days in a row now, Freddie out there taking grounders at third base. And I know that we've talked about, he said, look, charging in on balls, positioning his feet, but it's the throw that's really going to be a different thing for him. You were a former third baseman in the big leagues. What do you say?
Well, I'm happy he's trying this. I think that if he makes this transition, the Braves are going to be that much better, but it's going to be challenging. There are going to be some challenges with the angles, deciding whether he needs to drop step, whether he needs to charge, whether he needs to get himself in the right position. The throws are not easy. That throw's a long throw, so there are a lot of things that are going to be challenging. If he can do it, I think this lineup's going to be awesome.
Well, when he does come back, fellas, right now, just dry swings. So Chip and Joe, it's going to take a little while before he starts actually making contact with that ball.
Hey, Nick, I got a question for you just about what you were talking about playing third base. And the reaction time. You think Freddie can react quick enough at that spot?
I think he can react quick enough. The problem is making the right move on the ball. If the ball hits the dirt in front of the plate, you have to go at third base. You cannot way back. At first base, you can, because you can flip it back to first. Those type of things are going to be interesting to see. He's got to set himself up in position to make the throw and get his momentum going to first base as well. So there's some little things that are going to be tricky with it, but I think he can react. It's whether he makes the proper move off the bat. That's the key to me.
And the only way, Nick, as you know, is to find out by getting him in the game and seeing what happens. So we're looking forward to getting Freddie back in whatever capacity the Braves entertain. And he's excited. He says he's well ahead of schedule. We'll see if that's the case. As Jose Ramirez on for the 33rd time, he's got Pena, the pitcher spot, and Keon Broxton coming up. 5-2 Braves have the lead. And Pena pops it out of play.
Saw good numbers for the year for Jose. He did give up 2 runs and a home run 2 outings ago to Miami. But 2 days ago against the Giants, an inning with a hit and a walk, but no runs. If there's one thing that's begun to rear its ugly head again for Jose, it's walks. And he's walked 1 batter in each of his last 5 outings.
Two balls, 1 strike. And now he's in danger of walking Pena, who's 0 for 3. Hernan Perez is on deck. And it is way inside, ball 4. Vote today, vote tomorrow, vote Atlanta Braves for your 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at braves.com/vote and catch all of the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game, brought to you by MasterCard, July 11th, live on Fox. So Perez pinch hits in the 8th. 269 batter. He's got 10 homers.
I like this guy a lot. He can play anywhere on the field too.
That super utility player.
13 doubles, 3 triples to go with his 10 homers, 7 stolen bases.
Popped him up. Brandon Phillips drifts out. And a step or 2 on the right field grass makes the play. Perez retired, 1 out. And here's Broxton. Broxton hit a home run in the 4th inning. That's the first of their 2 runs. Eric Sogard was hit by a pitch and came home on a Santana 7th inning single. That's been it for Milwaukee tonight. Brewers got some help. Miami shut out the Cubs tonight, 2-0. That was Jose Urena pitching for the Fish. John Lackey, I think, was the Cubs starter. He was. Right. Urena's now won 5 straight.
Urena and Straley have given them a pretty good 1-2 punch.
So Miami now 33-39. A real make or break stretch for the Marlins, who are playing reasonably well.
Another 3-1 count.
Got to 3-1 with Pena and then walked him. Another walk, and that brings the tying run to the plate. That will also bring Chuck Hernandez to the top step of the dugout and to the mound for a visit.
Probably wanting to know what the concern is with throwing strikes and why is this all of a sudden an issue with him. Hasn't lost any velocity. They only have 5 hits tonight. Granted, one of them was a homer, and they hit a ton of homers, but you want to get them back in the game, walk people, and you brought up the tying run.
So Pena at second. Broxton, who can fly, is at first. And here's Arcia, not a shabby runner himself. He's hitting to 5 double plays. And that's where he's been missing. Over the plate but low. 1 ball, no strikes. Remember, Brinson's on deck.
Arcia only has 5 homers. Say only. He's got 5 homers, 1 of them against Atlanta.
Lined over third. That's headed for the corner, and that's big time trouble. Perez scores. Broxton around third. He's going to score without a throw, and Milwaukee's made it a 1-run game. Late inning walks are disastrous. And Milwaukee right back in this game.
Fastball moving into the barrel. Good swing by Arcia to get through on that. And with Broxton, the trailing runner, man, was he flying.
So it was Pena and Broxton that scored the runs. They drew the walks, and now the tying run is in scoring position for Lewis Brinson, who struck out in his first and only appearance tonight.
And whoever was just getting up with the Braves in the bullpen, they're just now beginning to throw.
That's not a good ratio, and that's not what we've seen out of Jose normally this year. And Brinson just got hit on the hand. He did not offer it that pitch, so he is struck by the pitched ball, and he'll take first base.
Another one that was running back in and got his pinky finger on his bottom hand and the knob of the bat, but definitely got at least the little finger. You see it so often when the ball's running in on a hitter. They're beginning to step into the pitch and getting ready to swing, and then hands and arms are still out there in harm's way.
So Brinson will stay in the game. He's a fast runner. And now Milwaukee goes to its bench again. This is Jesus Aguilar. This guy can hit the ball a country mile.
Yeah, hitting for Sogard too. That's a bit surprising. Maybe his rib cage is a little sore from getting hit last time.
Double play still in order if he can get the ball on the ground. A strike.
Yeah, let's not forget there's only one out.
Aguilar's hit to 4 double plays. 2 walks, a double, and a hit batsman. As Milwaukee knocking at the door, but now Aguilar down to his last strike. Nothing and 2. Sharply hit. What a stop. Second one. First 2. What a double play.
Great stab. Probably would have been happy with 1, and the Braves get 2.
What a stab by Camargo. Phillips the turn. Aguilar and the Brewers are out of luck. But it is now a 1. One and 2 on the lineup card for the Braves. Our Xfinity Cam live look in. We'll zoom in on Lane Adams, who set some personal history here at SunTrust Park last night against the San Francisco Giants.
His first major league home run, and it was a rocket up into the Hank Aaron Terrace. Bounced back onto the field, so hopefully they were able to retrieve it for him.
The Braves bats have to go back to work. Carlos Torres is the new pitcher. This is a guy that's long tormented the Braves in his days with the Mets, and he's pitched well against Atlanta while with Milwaukee, if memory serves.
Yes, tons of cutters.
Suter went 2 innings, 2 hits, an unearned run, 3 strikeouts. Hernan Perez remains in the game to play second. Braves not a strikeout team tonight, though. 10 Braves have been punched out by Nelson and Suter so far. 13 Brewers have been struck out, and Adams is retired. 1 away in the Atlanta 8th. Back to the top and enter Inciarte. Looking ahead to the 9th, Thames, Santana, and Shaw, the trio up for Milwaukee.
A lot of thunder in those 3.
And I don't think it's Jim Johnson up in the bullpen right now.
It's Vizcaino, Nerotis.
Jim worked back-to-back days against the Giants.
Bender gets a hit here. How many multi-hit games is that for him?
That would be his 30th.
Wow.
(22) 2-hit games, 5 3-hit games, 2 5-hit games.
30 out of 73 games would be pretty good, wouldn't it?
You bet. One ball, 2 strikes. Little Nubber back to the mound. That cutter by Torres continues to work its miracles. 2 outs. Remember, Carlos Torres was in spring training with the Braves last year, and at the end of March he had an ability to opt out of his contract if he wasn't able to earn a big league job. That's exactly what happened. He became a free agent, and Milwaukee scooped him up, and here he is. Phillips the batter. Good night for Brandon. 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. Phillips is 1 for 5 lifetime against Torres. That 1 hit, a home run. Craig Counsell pondering his options on the Milwaukee bench. Brian Snitker hoping for an add-on run or 2 with 2 outs in the 8th. Braves lead 5-4.
Another high-scoring game tonight down in Tampa. 15-5 Rays over Baltimore. Baltimore plays a lot of those, don't they?
They do. Their pitching staff's really had its share of problems this year too. Roger McDowell's Orioles dead last in ERA in the American League at 5.10 for their earned run average.
Well, it went up tonight.
Swing and a miss, and Carlos Torres works a 1-2-3-8. So the inning of decision is upon us. We head to the 9th. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Milwaukee. Atlanta leads by a run. face the Diamondbacks on Sunday, July 16th. It's brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Don't forget to buy your field passes. They're only $20 a piece. Get your tickets today at Braves.com. So Jim Johnson gets the night off tonight. With Atlanta leading 5-4, it is a save situation, and the man called upon to try to close it out is Arodys Vizcaino.
2.05 ERA for him. 4-1 on strikeouts to walks. Good numbers on average against. Pitched last night. 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, but no runs. And with this part of the order, the Thunder sticks don't walk anybody.
Eric Thames is the hitter, 0 for 3 with a walk, 2 strikeouts. Those came against Mike Foltynewicz, who's in line to win it. Arodys Vizcaino's last big league save came almost 1 year ago to the day. It was June 26th last year against New York. Nothing in one. Line down the right field line and headed for the corner. Thames hooks an extra base hit. He's on his way to second, and he's going to stop there, representing the tying run.
Fastball down. Didn't elevate it. Basically hit a good pitch and hit it hard.
$14 doubles for Thames. Here's Santana.
Nice work by the Brewers offense the last couple of innings. 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th.
Milwaukee leads the division by 2 games at the moment. The Cubs were trailing them, lost to Miami 2-0. One ball, no strikes.
If there's an advantage here for Arodys, it's that Santana, as you saw by that swing, not really interested in trying to get him over to third base. They're playing on the road, not interested in tying it. They want the lead, and the way he's been swinging the bat, they want him to hack away. So how does that play for Arodys? Well, you can use his slider and get him to hopefully chase.
Santana's 75 strikeouts now this year. Good stop. 2 balls and a strike. He's one of 4 Brewers that has 75 or more strikeouts this year.
Wow.
Two balls, 1 strike. Braves hanging on to a 5-4 lead. Sharply hit. Dansby's got it. He's going to go to third and got him. What a heads up play.
My goodness. Baseball player, folks. 2 hopper. Camargo heads up to go cover. What a play.
And the tag clearly there before Thames got to the bag with the hand. And the beauty of that is the Braves cut down the tying run at third base. They've got Shaw in the batter's box, and he leads their club in double plays.
But a heads-up play by Dansby with that runner right in front of him and getting a two-hopper and making a good throw. Outstanding.
If Braves hang on and win this game, I can promise you Ron Washington will be the first man to high-five Dansby Swanson.
And Johan Camargo.
You bet.
Last inning.
So 1 on, 1 out. Shaw is 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. 1 ball, no strikes. Ready pitch. Almost hit him. 2 balls and a strike.
Freeman struck him out last time up, but that was a left-hander throwing some breaking balls to get him to chase. Different story of that right-hander unless Vizcaino can get that slider down to the back foot.
Nothing wrong with that pitch.
Perfectly placed. He shook off a slider, wanted the fastball away, and put it there. Beauty.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Lifted toward left. Santana on the warning track makes the play. Runner tags, will slide into second safely. That was scary. Santana tags up, but there are 2 outs in the Milwaukee ninth. And now the Braves are an out away with Manny Pena coming up.
This might be the guy they want up there, Chip. He's got one of the highest averages on their team with runners in scoring position, 344. Heads up play by Santana to get into scoring position.
1 ball, no strikes. How's your blood pressure the last 2 ninth innings?
Ooh, boy.
Braves held on 12-11 last night. They're hanging on 5-4 tonight. Need 1 more out. Line foul. What a good swing on that pitch, didn't he?
Yeah, 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Make a good pitch here, put him on the defensive, and put him away.
Now it's a 1-1 count. And now he's a strike away from ending it. So you got a lot of choices now.
He does. You get ahead and you put him on the defensive. You don't have to throw a strike. You just throw something, if you can, that looks like a strike, including that slider.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Dansby may have wanted to make sure what the signs were, what the sequence was, to help him in terms of where he's going to be positioned.
Now it's a 2-2 pitch. Sharply hit. Dansby dives. He's got it. And the Braves have beaten Milwaukee.
Tell you what, folks, the infield's taken some beatings in some games where they've not been able to catch the ball and not been able to throw it, but not tonight. The last 2 innings, left side of the infield has been unreal. And Dansby with his heads-up plays here in the ninth. Great win, great way to finish it.
So Mike Foltynewicz beats Jimmy Nelson. Arodys Vizcaino picks up the save, and the Braves have back-to-back one-run wins at home. 5-4 tonight's final in Game 1 of the weekend series with Milwaukee.
Give me